Well, good afternoon and welcome to Bears Best Cheongna for Day 2 action from the 7th Hana Financial Group Championship. Timothy Lowe here, welcoming you along to a rather overcast and cool day here in Cheongna. Bears Best staging this championship for another year, and we have so much to look forward to this Friday afternoon. Yes, it's been overcast. Yes, we've had a little bit of precipitation in the air, so temperatures are down at a very cool 21 degrees Celsius. There's a bit of breeze out there, but thankfully no electrical activity overhead, so play will go on as scheduled, fingers crossed, without any interruptions, because there's quite a bit of cash to play for. 1.5 billion Korean won prize purse, 270 million heading the way of our champion Sunday evening. SBSGolf Club, designed by the great Jack Nicklaus, a compilation of 27 of his finest design holes from around the world. These are your featured groups this afternoon, and how about that for a blockbuster threesome? Min Ji Lee and Lydia Ko, both three-time major champions, alongside Park Ji-young, the 10-time winner on the KLPGA Tour. Choi Rim alongside Hwang Min-jong, and Yoo Hyun Joo, who currently tops the points list coming into this week. Ultimate group of Junyu Ri, Lee Seung-yeon, and Ru Rak-hyun. And Park Hye-jun, the 2023 champion Lee Da-yeon, and a winner earlier this season, Shin Da-in, going off in the last group. But you would think a lot of the attention is going to be focused on these three ladies on Friday. Do the redraw at the end of the opening round. All three starting even par 72s to start their week. And it's Min Ji Lee who has had the best of things so far amongst these three. That was a birdie at 10 a couple of moments ago, taking the Australian reigning women's LPGA champion. Young right now on that projected cut line, so very important. Just keeps things tidy. Projected to take you through to the weekend, and with conditions being a little testy, you can't press to think that's going to drop to 4 over, so 5 over should pretty much be safe for Jae Young to have 2 more cracks at it this week. 2 over par 74, but that should be enough. That's a rotten start 9 for Park Min-ji. Took a double lane on the front side, open with back-to-back bogeys at 10 and 11. But that's more like it from a lady who's won 19 times on the KLPGA Tour. Final birdie there, just getting the round back under control. 11th tee, and the youngest ever inductee into the PGA Tour's Hall of Fame, New Zealand's Lydia Ko. Over par for her round. There's a lot of golf to be played for these ladies. Quality players, expect them to put together a bit of a run. A much better day for Lee Hyo-sung. This second round of the KLPGA Tour majors last season, so that's a very good, solid day's work there. 2 under par for the teenager. Top 20. Has won the Lotte Open on this golf course before, now playing full-time back on the KLPGA Tour after losing her card on the LPGA Tour. Saying scores in red figures through 2 rounds. We're going to be pretty pleased about that. His best has proved challenging thus far in this championship. to win on tour. For a player who's just trying to keep her card, this is a hugely important next couple of days in Cheongna. Still seeking the first professional victory for just over 5 years now. Another player who possesses so much talent but is still winless in her career. 5 top 10s this season. 26-year-old, and that one just skips through into some of that thick rough. These damp conditions really going to put a premium on driving accuracy. You get this bit of moisture on the longer fescue grass. It can be a little problematic, as Yu Hyun Jo is about to find out. Pins on that upper shelf today at the par 4. Not much room to work with. Better miss is just try to fire it into the upslope. If it kicks up to the correct plateau, great. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. It's no guaranteed 2-putt just yet for the first person to successfully defend a KLPGA major since Park Hyun Kyung did the KLPGA championship 5 years ago. As we gaze back down the fairway from the 11th green, it's nice to see a decent crowd out there with this superstar threesome of Park Ji-young, Lydia Ko and Min Ji Lee. Not the most pleasant afternoon for a walk if you're out and around Cheongna, but if you do brave the elements, you get to see some world-class action. And Lydia played very nicely once she made the turn yesterday. Sprinkled 3 bogeys against 2 birdies on her front 9. Started that one well left. Sensible shot from Ko. We do have some good opportunities for birdies on this backside. 13 having only a wedge in hand, 15 being a reachable par 5, although maybe not so much the case in damp conditions this Friday. Back up to the 10th tee we go. So Yun Jung. One-time winner on tour who finds herself outside the top 65 on the money list at present. An exemption for winning the KGE Daily Ladies Open back in 2023 runs out at the end of the year, so big weekend ahead as well for So as Minji avoided the penalty area but unable to do too much with that, just chopping it back out into play. Gonna have to make par the hard way at 11. To 13. And Dukshin EPC Championship winner Sun, chance to claw a shot back. Her first professional victory as an amateur was at the Remix Championship 2 years ago. Front part of the green at the 10th for Hwang Min Jung. I think she needs to try to carry this all the way to the top level. Just opting for the sensible bump and run. I like that shot. percentage play. She's 71st on the money list coming into this week and 68th on the points list. There's 1.5 billion Korean won prize purse. There's a good chance to just give herself a little cushion going into the next couple of weeks. Lee So-young is on the cut line right now. Just give herself a little breathing room with this birdie opportunity on 13. Yes, well hold there. 7 victories on the KLPGA Tour for Lee So-young. None in the last 3 years. She's come close to bagging this championship on a number of occasions. First in 2021, a playoff loss to then Rookie of the Year Song Ga-eun. Another playoff loss to Lee Dae-yeon in 2023. Giving herself a look to escape the 11th unscathed. Got to be so committed on little pitch shots like this around the green. Just looking at a landing spot in the fringe in front of her. Just decelerated a bit. Easy to do. You just see the fall off beyond the pin. Right as you're approaching the ball, you think, don't hit it too hard. And that's what happens. Finds herself bunkered at 13. Very poor tee shot. It's a very wide target, the fairway on 13. It was almost a straight snap hook off the tee. I wonder if she's maybe just on the outside of the bunker, judging by her stance of those practice swings. Yeah, the little rough embankment. How's this one going to come out? Well, pretty well. Sensible shot really for Minjee. Didn't need to go for that back flag. Yerim with his downhill left to righter for her par at 10. Those are the mistakes you can ill afford to make. You're trying to play yourself into position to claim that maiden victory. Bit of a soft bogey from Choi Yerim. Does have 5 top 10s this season on tour, so it's not been a disastrous year for Choi. Just wonder if that scar tissue is starting to build up. When is she finally going to lift a trophy on Sunday afternoon? Lydia, only golfer, male or female in history, to have stood on all 3 steps of the podium at the Olympic Games. Took silver in Rio, bronze in Tokyo, and then that epic gold medal clinching performance at Le Golf National last year in France. Going to be a fairly slow putt from the left half of this green. The pace very nicely, Lydia. And you know she's a tremendously patient player. She's not going to be bothered by the fact that she's 1 over. I've looked at the scoring pace overnight, would be aware of the leaderboards on the golf course. She knows it's a tough scoring week in 2025 at Bears Best. Now, So In-jung into this 10th hole with a lot of heavy artillery. It's a hybrid. Mid conditions, back pin. And she she's judged that really nice. That should stay on the top level. It's going to give her a decent look at birdie. Well, this will feel like a birdie should this one drop for Minji at 11. Again, tee shot was a little wide, forced to just chop it out sideways and play a nice little pitch shot to here. I'm going to say this one should move just a fraction to her right. All in all, pretty flat putt, so doesn't have to worry about this getting away from her. It's just a matter of picking up that correct line and putting a good committed stroke on it. Pays the price for a poor tee shot at 10. As the Women's PGA champion back to even. She began the day. Head to 13 and Minji Lee with this uphill birdie opportunity. She's had health issues over the last couple of seasons, which really puts into contrast how much she has been able to achieve. In the last 5 years on tour, 19 professional victories. The most successful player actively on the KLPGA Tour. Now, Lee Seung-yeon has had a very good front nine, 3 unanswered birdies to move her into a tie for the lead with Park Hye-jun, who's still staying in the clubhouse and completed her front nine about an hour ago. 7 years since Seung-yeon won on the KLPGA Tour.
Shot.
Jung Yuri, who's been a lifelong journeywoman on the KLPGA Tour. I mentioned it in the broadcast briefly yesterday. Every time we come to this point in the year, she seems to be battling for her tour card. She's 57th on the money list through the first 22 events of the year. Just don't want to give yourself that stress year in, year out. More often than not, she's risen to the occasion and played well enough to keep her card. Every time she's lost her card, she's got it back at Q School. She starts her back nine on Friday, just 3 off the lead. Wei-hyun. Big week for her. She's only made 9 cuts this season. Best finish this year came just at the end of August, top 30 at the KGE Daily Ladies Open. The penultimate group. Off and running to start their back nine as we go up to Lydia Ko at the long, demanding 12th. A little easier today with the hole in the front segment of the green, but still, it takes 2 good hits to give yourself any sort of sniff. Younger brother Min Woo Lee started his campaign at the French Open on the DP World Tour yesterday with a very solid round of 5 under par 66. I wonder if time difference and all, there was a little text exchange between Minji and Minwoo as they contest on their various tours this year, this week. That rain really starting to come down a little heavier on the players. We know this golf course drains really nicely. We saw it absolutely saturated over the first couple of days of this week. And again, as long as there's no lightning overhead, the play will go on as scheduled. No need to worry about that. It's just more of an irritation than anything right now, this pesky rainfall. Oh, so nearly for So-Yeon Jung at 10. To the par 3 16th, and it's been a great day for 2019 KLPGA Tour Rookie of the Year Cho Ah-yeon. She's made 5 birdies in her round today. She's 3 under for her second round, and that one just a little wide on the par 3, but still lots of green to work with for Cho. It's a wet, wet afternoon here on day 2 at the Hana Financial Group Championship, with Lee Seong-yeon moving into a share of the lead with overnight co-leader Park Hye-jun. going to see a lot of that today. Players and especially caddies working hard to try and keep the equipment dry, particularly the grips. It's so uncomfortable when you've got wet, slimy grips. It just doesn't give you any sort of confidence whatsoever when you stand up over a shot. Nice angle to the back pin for Lee Seong-yeon on the 10th. Just leaks that one a touch right. Lee Dong-eun, reigning Korean Women's Open champion. A bit of a poor end to her day yesterday, bogeying her final 3 holes. This is her final hole of the day, currently inside the cut mark at 4 over par. It's going to work a little off the slope. Very nicely played shot from Lee Dong-eun. Well off the mark. The 12 was Sung Jin. Short-sided as well. Going to try and bump this through the fringe. Yeah, needed a good kick and she got it. It's a crafty little shot. Last couple of years on tour, as to be said. Did pick up a win at the Kyochon Honey Ladies Open 2 seasons ago. Hasn't contended as much as she would have liked. It's going to be a bit of a lengthy one to try and save par at 16. So Jin, another long par saving putt. But handles it very nicely. Pars are going to be crucial this afternoon. You know that bogeys are going to come. Great birdie opportunities for yourself, but pars just keep your round together. Now she's got a share of the lead and a ton of confidence, returning to a course where she claimed victory back in June. A lone professional title, the Lotte Open. A love affair with Bear's Best Chong-na continues, although that tee shot just misses itself into the left rough. Eugene, the putt that doesn't need to be started outside the hole. Should just be inside lip line. Okay. Made hard work of it, but pencil a 4 in on the box underneath the 12th hole. Started poorly with a bogey, bounced straight back with a birdie at the 2nd. Unfortunately, would bogey the 7th, so she's back down at 2 under now, having started Friday with a share of the lead. Looks like it's the heavy lumber for Lydia Ko at the long 12th. Importantly, she's going to be coming out of the fairway, so she'll have a little bit more control over this second shot. Yeah, nicely played there, just trapping that ball, squeezing into the turf. This is all kinds of uncomfortable for Minji Lee, nestled up against that left edge of the bunker, well below her feet. No choice but to look out right here. Made good contact with it. Oh, maybe a little thin, but my word. She did very well from that spot. Though she's not going to have much of a reward because she's still in a pretty awkward spot. Back to 9, and Lee Dong-eun trying to close out her round with a birdie and a level past 72. Just a little firm. 75-73 on a week like this, good enough to make another cut in 2025. Just a bit of a poor finish there, dropping 3 shots in the last 7 holes as we go up to the 18th and EA1, trying to close out with a par. Nicely done. The lady who's been Player of the Year on the KLPGA Tour for the last 2 seasons. Round an even past 72. What an impressive streak of cuts made will continue. Yet to miss a weekend this year. Lee Seung-yeon trying to skip one up the hill at 10. Ahead at the par 3 14th. Good tee shot here underneath the hole. It's about just outside of 20 feet for her birdie. And she's got another one. Battling away nicely, Minji. Oh, how she'd love that triple bogey 7 back on the 7th. It's a resilient fight back since the bogey start to the back 9. These are so uncomfortable, but especially with wet sand, you need to get some extra acceleration into the compact surface. And a bit of spin. How about getting it in? Well, she took the scenic route on the 12th, but Minji Lee manages a miraculous 3, taking her back into a share of 6th. Nicely acknowledged there by her good friend and playing partner Lydia Ko. That was a brilliant 3. Back on 10. Seung-yeon to try and stay level with Park Hye-jun. This for par. Okay, rock solid. Really good stuff for Lee Seung-yeon. Both Lee and Park bogey free for their rounds as we go back to 12, and Lydia Ko putting from long range for her birdie 3. Just got to be wary. This one wants to move left in the last 10 feet or so. Perhaps a little heavy-handed with the pace there. Green's obviously not running quite as quickly as the tournament committee would like. So much of that is down to this pesky rainfall that we've had all throughout Friday play. Do well to just get this one on the front edge of the green and have it run. Yeah, not a bad leave though. So Lee Seung-yeon there a little bit earlier on. the par 5 15th. Just off the right edge of the green is where we find Lee Joo Hyun. He's at 1 under par. 2 under for her day. Make it 3 under. That's a bonus birdie. And a vital one that moves her into what is becoming a rather congested group of players at 2 under par. Dayan also coming out of the rough, but the line didn't look quite as bad as Park Hye-jun. Again, equation's the same. Just try and carry it on the front third of the green, have it sort of release up. Got that to grab a little quick, but don't you hear any complaints from her. That was nicely played. She's made a career out of rolling these putts in with relative ease, Lydia Ko. Just so solid. They go in with conviction and right in the middle of the cup as well. On 11T is where we find Lee Seong-yeon. Will be drifting to Min-sun's 7's right at 15. I just want to start it about a cut left. Yeah, well holds. Good birdie for Kim Min-sun 7. Hyun 3 is flirting with the cut line at 5 over par. Her second shot to the par 4 13th. Keep going. Oh, nothing like a long walk with a putter, knowing that when you get up to the green, it's just going to be a tap in for birdie. Back to 10, and your co-leader, Park Hye-jun. You know the recipe how to play this shot. Just try to skip one up. Carries that a little further on than her playing competitors. A bit higher trajectory, so doesn't quite get the release that Lee Seong-yeon got. And as a result, we'll have a longer putt for par. Turned pro back in 2021. Hye-jun currently sits 20th on this year's money list. Runner-ups last season. To year 1 at the Doosan Weave Championship and again at the Samdasu Masters. Jump at 11. Good shot to get it in this close to that pin. Can't convert. Shindayan has just kind of hung steady thus far. Outside chance to take it back to 2 under. It's got to keep going. It's got to keep going. Oh, good effort from Shin. It was a huge relief picking up that victory at Sunning Point at the KGE Daily Ladies Open. Just takes the pressure off at least for another season and a half, trying to keep your tour card up to the short 13th. And Minji is going with 3-wood. No need for the driver, even in wet conditions like today. Lydia going with driver, but got that teed up very low. I don't think it's the driver off the deck, but this is that little squeezer she likes to play when she needs to keep it in play. Teed up lower, scooch it back in your stance. Try and play it like you would an iron. Get it low and chasing. Reduces your dispersion a lot more, and just like she did yesterday, finds the fairway. Back on 10, Dion. A putt for birdie. Came awfully close to a 9th tour title a few months ago, losing in a playoff to Rose Young-hui at the Heaven Masters. Simply just breaking the 1 billion Korean won single season earnings mark after last week's event in Incheon. Now to 13, and Soa Jin for birdie. Double the distance of the par putt she held back on 12. Lost that left early, and she knew it. Poor effort. Important par saving putt for Park Hye-jun on 10. Just needed a bit more speed. So that bogey leaves Lee Seung-yeon all alone at 4 under par. Eugene on 13. I hope this is a putt for birdie. A pretty brisk one, going straight down the hill. Barely got that started. On from the wet rough on 11. Don't want to go flirting with this pin, not in these conditions. Intelligent shot, was playing it past the pin. Don't even look at that whole location with the bunker on the right hand side. You see the top edge of the ball in that rough coup. That's not where you want to miss it. Down into the sand. There's a Rayhion. All three players going to be coming from this left rough at the 11th. Last to play will be Yuri as the rain continues to bucket down over the players in Cheongna. She got a little stuck there, tried to save it at the bottom of the swing. Often than not, when that happens, you deal off the club a little and it jumps a fraction further, but it holds up on the back fringe. So not the end of the world for Jun Yuri. Now, you'd expect this one sort of within 10-15 feet for Minji Lee. Coming out of the fairway, lots of control, back pin, can throw it all the way in there. Soft conditions mean that this green shouldn't be as bouncy as it's been in the past. Yeah, well negotiated. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite swings on the KLPGA Tour. So technically sound, compact, uses a lot of speed. For a lady that's not overly tall, stands over just 5'4". Well, just as I talk it up, blows one right. Don't think it's in the penalty area, but could have to hack it out sideways like we saw Minji Lee do earlier on. Head on the 12th. Jump for her birdie. Just a tough hole, the 12th. I mentioned yesterday, you make 4 pars here all week, you're not going to be losing shots to the field. How does she respond to a first bogey of the championship? Park Hyo-jun finds herself chasing. Same could be said for Lydia Ko with her wedges. Like Minji Lee, you don't win major championships, big professional events all around the world if you don't have great control of your short clubs. Not great by her standards, but still will have a look. Flirted with trouble on 15, Minji, but she's left herself in a good spot, putting uphill for birdie at the par 5. Just a simple little cleanup there for Jun Yuri's part. At 11. Well, seen a fair amount of Lydia Ko and Minji Lee through the first couple of holes. Park Ji-young, she's no slouch. 10 wins on the KLPGA Tour, a couple of majors in there as well. 1 over par Got around after a drop shot at 11. 1 over for the championship. It's been a rather pedestrian year for the serial winner on tour. Let's have a runner-up finish at the KLPGA Championship back in May to Hong Jong-min. Another player who has yet to miss a cut this season. Oh, this putt is going to be coming over a tiny little hump on the green, which should move the ball left right when it gets to about Minji's marker. But you can play it with some pace. Just a little tentative there from Ji Young. Go back to the 11th. Opportunity for Lee Seong-yeon to double her lead. This putt for birdie. Curious looking stroke she took at it. Almost looked like she closed the club face before impact. Started well left of where she was aiming. But the par will not bother her one bit. Her advantage stays 1. Now Ko at 13 for birdie. This is the par 4 11th, trouble that runs down the entire right-hand side of the hole. And Chun Dai-yen hits a ball below the level of the red line, or the marking of the penalty area. So, yes, she's in the penalty area, but now you, of course, are allowed to ground your club. I have to say, maybe a good break staying out of the really tough weeds. The lie doesn't look too bad. Just needs to look out towards the right edge of that TV tower. Contact didn't sound the best, but she's got away with another loose one. It's not a bad leave. Great chance coming up at 13. Try and take herself a little closer to Seong-yeon's lead. Yeah, sneaks it in the left edge. Min-ji Lee on the move. 3 birdies since making the turn, with a drop shot at 11 spliced in amongst them. Very good tee shot for Park Hye-jun at 11. How brave would she like to be? Yeah, pretty tidy. Hyun-jo. Get back to even for the tournament. Great putt there. Tops the grand points list heading into this week. bliss at the end of the year. It gives you so many opportunities, doors that open, and of course the prestige of being crowned the #1 player of the KLPGA Tour. Dion's tee shot stayed out of the penalty area, but really had no choice but to just chop it back towards the fairway. Far too risky to try and go for that green and two. She's done the right thing. She's advanced it far enough up the fairway and far enough left where she doesn't have to come over the corner of that bunker. It's just on the right-hand side of your screen. So this angle, just an easier shot for Dion. Still got to hit a solid wedge from here. Get yourself within 10 feet. Give yourself a reasonable opportunity to save par. Meters should be a pretty comfortable gap wedge. Dion. Nice line, just needed to carry maybe 2-3 yards more and get a little skip. But she'll have a putt for par. So Eugene has hit a nice tee shot into the 14th. Like on 13, just unable to convert. She's given herself plenty of good looks on Eugene. Just got to stay patient. Don't try to force things. You've got a very scoreable hole in the par 5 15th coming up. Back to looks like the 18th hole in Thailand's Jaravi Bunchan. And end her day with a birdie. Not going to work out, but the Thai is going to make it through to the weekend for the second year in a row at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Her boyfriend Sadom Kaukanjana contesting in the Golf Zone Open. Currently leads the Rookie of the Year points race on the KLPGA Tour after his victory at the Cologne Korea Open back at the end of May at La Via Belle. It's been nice being able to have her partner play a little bit more in South Korea as well. The two of them have been spending some time together, and it seems to be benefiting both their games. Kaukanjana inside the top 10 on the Asian Tour Order of Merit. Jaravi Bunchan having a good solid season on the KLPGA Tour. Now back to 14 and Minji Lee. Pin cut on the right-hand side of the green today. General slope, kicks the ball left once he hit the green. Just left it another great spot. Minji Lee turning on the style in the rain this back nine. Using the far right-hand side of the tee box, which indicates to me that she's trying to hit some kind of left to right shape shot to this right pin. Hold it up against that wind. Two excellent tee shots by some of the best in world golf. From the bunker 11th hole. Seung-yeon, the 12th hole, excuse me. What angle to try and get at this left pin? Muscle one out, and stays out of the back bunker, but that looks like an awfully thick lie. So Seung-yeon leads the way by one here on day two at the Hana Financial Group Championship. A birdie from So Yun-jung sees her share second with Park Hye-jun. It's been a rather damp and dour day at Bears Best Chona, but we're still seeing some pretty darn good golf coming out of the contenders, although Idayon has this important par-saving putt coming up at 11. Tee shot flirting with the penalty area, forced to lay up, and that is nowhere near it for Dayon. We haven't had a multiple-time winner of the Hana Financial Group Championship. Dayon in good position to try and change that this week, although that bogey will hurt her cause a little. Lee's made a great start to the back nine. This for yet another birdie. She comes up short too. Start of the day, a share of the lead with Dayon. Park Ye-jun surpassed by Lee Seung-yeon. Oh, settle down. Oh, that was very heavy-handed for Park. Great second shot to leave herself in that position. Now she's struggling for par. Now come on, Lydia. Let's see one roll in. Get herself back to even. Start making moves up the board. Just hammered that one through the break. I wonder how much of that was a response to seeing Minji's putt come up so short. A nervy one left for Hyejun's par back at the 11th. Okay. Rectifies that mistake well. Stay within one. These can be a little tricky if you're uninitiated. Gotta play these with speed from thick rough on an upslope. Ball's gonna come out really high. Gotta have acceleration to create elevation. Just quit on that a little bit. Didn't have enough forward momentum, so your championship leader, she's struggling for par at the difficult 12. An Sung-yi has got a couple of victories under her belt. Chance to get into red figures with this birdie putt on the 15th. Yep, nicely done. It's gonna be a pretty good day. Sung-yi, a share of 5th. Seung-yeon has been bogey free on the day and very solid. This for par. Oh, well hauled. Made a good par saving putt at 10. It's an even better one at 12 that keeps her nose out in front. But at 13, Hwang Min-jung with about a 12-footer for a birdie of her own. Hasn't hit it. Has not hit it. Oh, frustrating that. At the line, just not enough speed to hold up. Still, sit at the top of the show. If you're in red figures at the end of the day, you're not going to be too disappointed with that. Just a good amount of breeze in the air for the players in this final group as they step up to the 12th tee. Sort of off the right and slightly hurting. Just trying to keep it left edge of those two bunkers on the right half of the fairway. That would be your ideal start line. 3 nines here at Bears Best Cheongna, the USA and Europe 9. So we are contesting this Hana Financial Group Championship, and the Australasia 9 make up the 27 holes here at Bears Best. To the par 5 15th, and Eugene. Good shot, cut on the left hand side of the green, but you've only got wedge in, so it takes a really poor shot to find the penalty area. You see a lot more shots doing that, straight at the target. Just a little unlucky, that ball skidding on the first or second bounce, not grabbing as quickly as Sung Yoo Jin would have expected. 11th hole, the bottom of your screen. The 12th hole on the right half of your screen is played as the hardest hole on the golf course for yesterday's opening round. Played almost a quarter of a shot over par. Dion looks to have split the fairway here at top. You can see that pin tucked about 5 paces from the left edge of the green. The ideal start line is just sort of at the TV tower, the left edge of it. Dion does like to work the ball right to left, like so many ladies on the KLPGA tour. So I think it's a comfortable looking flagstick for the 2023 champion. Safely aboard, nothing flash there from Dion. So Eugene, dirty putt, but one that moves a healthy amount from left to right. Well read, nicely holed Sung Yoo Jin to 2 under par. So he was only made 3 cuts on tour this year. Started off solidly yesterday. She's had a bit of a wobble today, but that birdie should settle her down a little bit. Back to 3 over. Look at this flagstick towards the middle of the green should be the line. Yeah, sensible shot there from Park Hye-jun. Seong-yeon continues to lead the way on a wet Friday afternoon at Bears Best. If she can get it back to even par, Lydia Ko is going to still fancy her chances with 36 to play, although that one not her best effort into the par 5 15th. So lengthy birdie putt for Lee Daeon back on the 12. She'd be very happy to just get out of here with a 2-putt par. Chung, just off the edge of the green at the par 4 13th. This is a chance to tie the lead. See a lot of putts being left short on the 13. That hole cut, that back left section, right on the top of a very gentle little mound. Preferred lies up to 1 scorecard length being implemented for day 2 play at Bears Best, a little bit due to the soft nature of the golf course with this persistent precipitation that we've had throughout the course of the day. Forecast to continue on overnight. It's been a real tumble for Park Bo Keong at one stage. Yesterday was 3 under par before a couple of late bogeys left her with a 71. She's 4 over the card today. A chance to recover one of those shots here at 13. Now, well holed. Picked up her 3rd career victory at the season opening Blue Canyon Ladies Trip when the KLPGA Tour went across to Thailand to start the year. Park on 12 with a slow putt coming up the hill for birdie. Had the line, and that's pretty good pace. She'll take that quite happily. This is the par 5 15th hole, which in normal dry conditions reachable for a couple of the players in the field. ENG just off a little wide and right with her second shot, but just left herself a nice angle. Pitch coming from this right rough, working downhill towards that pin. Keep going, keep going. Well played from ENG. Lee will have an opportunity to get to within 1. A well-travelled player like Minji, no stranger to playing in conditions such as these. Okay, Dayon completes a successful 2-putt for her par back at 12. A couple of good scoring holes coming up, 13 through 15. To the par 3 16th is where we find Sung Yujin. Tournament leader, so if he found a large fairway at 13, how brave can she be to this back pin? Oh, a little too brave. That goes deep. That, even though she's only 18 feet away, that's a tricky little one she's left herself. Lydia Ko, much like Park Min-ji, putting from this side of the hole leaves you an uphiller which you can play with a bit more speed, take some of the breakout. Hasn't hit it, has she? Oh, just peels off low. Well, she's had some decent looks since making the turn, Lydia Ko, but unable to get any sort of momentum going. flip side, Minji Lee does this for a 4th birdie since making the turn. Should just be a left edge putt. Nice confident stroke. Oozing with confidence is the Australian. That's her 6th birdie of the day, and it takes her into a 3-way share of 2nd place. Excellent golfing. Minji. One Minji to another. Park Minji's just dropped a shot at 16, so back on 4 over par now. But she'll pick up a birdie here on 17. Well done. Yet to record a victory this season. Not been in the winner's circle since the Celtrion Queen's Masters back in June last year. Only player to win the same event 4 years in a row. Right through with the choice of club for Park Hye-jun at this short 13th. Driver not necessary. With water encroaching into the fairway about 230 yards off the tee. Green. This is an interesting choice of club. He's left him to putt this one. The line must be pretty poor. It's going to be fumbling through quite a bit of sticky rough and fringe before it makes its way onto the green. I really question that club selection for Seong-yeon. I'm a bigger fan as any of putting when you have the option around the green, but I still don't think that was right. Sung Yoo-jin hit on 16 from the right side of the green. She's in solo 5th at the moment. Good weight on that putt from Yoo-jin. 2 KLPGA Tour victories, one coming here at the Lotte Open in 2021 and the Match Play Championship the following year. And for par at 13 to stay in the outright lead. Really good handling these so far today. She continues to remain very solid. That's a huge putt that keeps Lee Seong-yeon one clear of Minji, Yeonjung and Hye-jun. Let's say this has got to be a formality really for Sung Yoo-jin. Mistakes there. 2 holes left to play on this wet Friday afternoon for Sung. All the momentum in the corner of the Perth-born Minji Lee. 2 birdies against 2 bogeys on the front side, 4 birdies on the back side with a drop shot on 11 in and amongst them. She's got herself up into a share of 2nd place at 3 under par as she stands on this 16th tee. A pretty poor tee shot 24 hours ago on this hole. Up awfully close to the penalty area. Yesterday was back left, so front left today. I think that anything about 15, 20 feet right of the hole, a little bit past it. That would be the shot required for the three-time major winner. And those victories coming at the US Women's Open, and that's arguably the sternest test in professional golf for the ladies. Certainly well outright. And nicely placed. Exactly where she would have been looking. Lee So-young on the closing hole has found the right edge of the fairway. She's currently 4 over par. She'll scuttle that one all the way into the back hole location. Excellent shot from E. Now to 16 and co. The ability to work her shots both ways. I think this whole location calls for a little baby draw off the TV tower. Club got stuck behind her, leaves the face wide open, and that's a big miss. Out to the right. Didn't commit to it. Happens to the best of them, folks, just remember. That's a Hall of Famer who's missed the green by about 20 yards on a par 3. Golf, it is a difficult game. Not so much of your Lee So-young, who's 3 under for the day and leads by 1. Well, began the day with a share of the lead. Here, Jun. She's treading water on Friday, which isn't necessarily a bad thing with conditions as difficult as they've been. Finds herself one back. Trying to punch one in low to this back pin on 13. Get this chasing. Digs its heels in a little quick, but nothing wrong with that. Knows what it takes to win at this venue. Did so at the Lotte Open back in June. Up on the 16th is where we find Lydia Ko. After a very poor tee shot, she works some Lydia magic. I was looking for that to grab on the second bounce. I just wonder if that little thin film of moisture on the top of the greens just killing any spin that ball had. She's going to have to work for her par here on the par 3. Dion tugged a tee shot into the left bunker at 13, but good news about all that rain is it's really compacted the sand. So you can pick this one pretty clean and generate a lot of spin on it. She's got 101 meters to go. Outside chance for Minji to collect yet another birdie. This would move her into a share of the lead with Lee Seung-yeon. Just got to be careful. Last part of this putt does move downhill. Gave the slope plenty of respect there, Lee. First look of the day at Hong Jin Young, who's putting for birdie at the first of the two par 3s in this back 9. Yep. And she goes, and back to even par goes Hong. Nice little bounce back after the difficulties through the first dozen holes, back to even par and inside the top 10. Just 8 players under par at this stage of the championship. Lydia Ko not amongst them, but she has this for par at 16. Fairly flat putt for Lydia. Just wants to move a little left early, then should stay pretty straight the last couple of feet. Can't get away with one here. Poor tee shot. Cost her a shot. Now back on the tee at 14 is our championship leader, Lee Seung-yeon, who's got a 6-iron. Bit of breeze working off the right. Seen a number of good tee shots with this pin already today. Dion, slow putt for birdie on 13. Starts to move left there. Just never saw that from Dion. And the 15th hole. Right to left birdie putt to take Yu Hyun Jo to even par. Just enough to get there for Yu Hyun Jo, who's had a bit of a topsy-turvy back nine. Remains inside the top 10 with that birdie. Now Hyojun at the short 13th. Give that a brilliant effort, but it remains above ground. Without a shadow of a doubt, having her best year on the KLPGA Tour. Park. Second full season as a professional. It is Sung Yoo Jin on the 17th with her third. And it's a pretty darn good one. The home hole, Kim Min-sun 7, just kept it out of the greenside bunker. Plenty of green to work with as she comes back to this pin. Pretty well done. With another dicey one for par. Okay, sold out nicely today, Dayon. Again, not had her best stuff. She knows there's still so much that can happen over the next 2 days and so or so. Seung-yeon could just double her advantage. This a chance of 14. Oh, it had a look, just frustratingly. It was on the lip for Lee Seung-yeon. It's a fabulous second to the home hole for Lee So-young. And it's going to yield a closing birdie. Nice way to end the day for Lee. After a very poor front nine, bounces back well. Ultimately a 74, but 36 holes more to play for Seung-yeon. To 14T and Park Hye-jun. Doesn't like it. Don't tell me that's hitting left. Okay. Plenty of stick on it. Finds the back left corner of the green. A number of players who have successfully come through the secondary tours here in South Korea. For ladies, got two of them, the Jump Tour and the Dream Tour. Waiting for some kind of spark from Lee Dayon. When she starts to get in that flow state, she really can rattle off birdies, but just hasn't given herself close enough looks over the first couple of holes on this backside. We'll see if things can change here on the 14th. She's got 7-iron. Pretty solid. Just show you how soft those greens are. Ball drop and stop, picking up plenty of mud. Kim Min Sun 7 for her par on the closing hole and to go into the weekend at +1. Nope. Didn't commit to it. Might be a little irritated with that. A pair of 73s to start her title challenge in Cheongna. Soyajin is going to be giving Sung Yujin a little line read here on the 17th. See that spine that this putt's going to traverse. Right there, kicks it right. Yeah, good pace on that one. She'll go ahead and tap that in as we go up to, looks like Park Gaeol. No, Yu Hyo-ju on 18. Battling to make the cut. Been a tough day at the office for her. She's right on the number at 5 over par, and that is pretty much going to secure her place in the field on the weekend. Excellent shot when she needed it most. Jin. She was paying attention to that part of Saw Urgin. Again, it's so speed dependent. Anytime you're coming up a little rise, just with the diagonal nature of that slope, you know it's going to move right. But if you hit it with too much speed, it's got so much forward momentum, it never takes that sort of gentle suggestion right. But you don't hit it with enough conviction like Saw Urgin, lose it right early and it never has a chance. Such a speed-dependent type of putt. But she's managed it brilliantly. Sung Yujin makes it a quartet at 3 under par. You take away that bogey at 7, she's having a lovely day. They're trying. They're closing in on her, but Lee Seong-yeon is fending them off at the moment. She now plays a little layup to the par 5 15th. Just trying to get it over that little creek. He did, but barely. Didn't look like she was displeased with her contact there. That was a good 15 yards short of where she needed to land it. Minji over the back of the 18th green. High, soft one. Oh, that is a touch of class from Minji. It's been a bit of a sloppy day for her. You go back to that triple bogey on the 7th hole, but she's well capable of throwing in a couple of low rounds on a weekend. We've seen that in the past. She's going to have to hope that the birdies are bountiful tomorrow, as they have been for the likes of Seong-yeon, Yujin, and Minji. It's still Lee leading by 1. It's been pretty wet this Friday afternoon in Cheongna, but it hasn't dampened the spirits of the ladies out on the golf course. Currently only 8 players under par. Park Hye-jun is one of them. The overnight co-leader is facing this putt for birdie at the 14th. Oh, and it wasn't a million miles away. Great effort. Took a piece of the hole with it, but that'll be a solid 2-putt par. The forecast is for the weather to improve slightly on Saturday, so hopefully that'll yield some lower scores, because Bear's Best has been baring its teeth over the first couple of days. Now, Yu Hyo-ju to successfully make it into the weekend. This is a birdie putt on the last. Fabulous second shot and a nice way to close off a difficult day. 75 for her. Now, Lee Daeyeon mentioned just waiting for a little spark from her. Could this be it? This is her first birdie since the second hole. It's got the pace just a little high. Great try though. Back to Minji Lee, just trying to poke this one onto the front edge at 17. She's coming in from a long way back, which tells me she's probably hit her tee shot in the rough. Again, should be thankful the pin's in that sort of frontish portion of the green today. Not able to get it all the way under the putting surface, but gives herself a nice angle for that pitch. Having a good day at the office, Minji. 3 under par. Park Minji. To end up what's been a bit of a roller coaster. I'm told this is for bogey. Oh, I thought that was her third shot from over the back of the green. It was actually her fourth, and it's going to be around a 75 for her. Colourful scorecard, to say the least, for the 19-time tour winner. Hye-jun just to mop things up for par at 14. Park Ji-young, who's been treading water all day, just hanging tough. 1 over, or 2 over, excuse me, for her round. A much shorter shot into the green than what faced Minji Lee. She's only got 133, effectively playing like 140 with the elevation and rain. Target safely found for Park. A little heart in mouth with that layup at the 15th for Lee Seong-yeon. She's got to play for some release coming out of this wet rough to this left pin. Took the conservative approach, and we don't blame her. The thick stuff really minimizes the amount of control you have on the golf ball. What's Lydia Ko got here on 17? And Park Ji-young, 2 over par for her round. 26 remaining. If she could just get it up that little rise that we saw Soa Jin and Sung Yoo-jin putt over, it'll give her a much easier putt for birdie. Distance control so important to this pin. Brilliant. Straight over the top of the flagstick for Lydia. finds the correct segment and give herself a good birdie opportunity. Jimmy Reed. It's a couple over par for the second round. Got to dancing around the pin at 15. It's not bad. Seen that putt a number of times today. Quick one, left to right. 16 and Hwang Min Jeong. Could she eke closer to the quintet? Top of our mini leaderboard. This is for birdie and it's going in. Good birdie there for Hwang Min Jeong. See what lies ahead for the final group. 2 shots safely down the fairway for these 3. Just trying to get it past that little creek that cuts into the fairway. Give yourself about a 70-yard third shot. Just skips it onto the fairway for Dayon. Now Minji. This has got to be landed on the front segment of the green. Have it chase up the hill. It's the correct shot to play, and she's played it pretty nicely. Shin Dayon. He's really had a bit of a mixed bag this season. Through the first 11 events, had only made 2 cuts. Hasn't missed a cut. In the last 11, it's been a poor day for her. A couple over as well. That victory at Sunning Point. And her 2-year exemption on the KLPGA Tour, so doesn't have to stress about trying to bank a good check this week. Last to tackle this layup will be Park Hye-jun. So try to aim it at the crane on the top of the building there. That's your start line. Start it a little further left. There's trouble brewing there. Oof, okay, no problem. So Park Ji-young, we've seen already today. 17, just works up that little spine and moves gently from left to right. Oh, just another half revolution more, and that would have dropped for Park Ji-young. Now, does anything irritate a golfer more than a well-struck putt that comes up a roll short? She stays at 2 over. Now to the last, and Sung Yoo-jin. Much more accessible hole location today on that back section than it was for the opening round. Seen a couple close already. Should come off the slope nicely. Look at this. Look at this one for Sung Yoo-jin. It might go in. Oh, great shot. It's been just that kind of day for her. Really solid, and she'll have a chance to cap it off in some style with a birdie finish. Now back to 17 and Lydia Ko. come back from out there, Lids. It's one of those days where she hasn't really done too much wrong, but the putts just haven't fallen for her. A couple of times, a few misreads, one or two with less than ideal speed. Just shows you it takes a lot for someone to put a good round of golf together. Which is also showing the importance of, having a high floor. We talk about having a high ceiling where, you can shoot rounds in the low 60s. If your worst days are 1-2 over par, you're never really out of it in a 72-hole tournament. Championship leaders putt on the way at the par 5 15, just coming up a little shy. Minjee for a par save on 17. Excellent. Had to work for it, but she'll keep herself within one of Lee Seong-yeon. Jun Yu Ri. Got to trust that this one's going to peel off to the right. About a cut left. Has she hit it? No, she hasn't. Just lacked a little commitment. Still 1 over par. Inside the top 15 at the moment, and only 5 off the pace. As Minjee Lee makes her way up to the 18th tee. Final group of the day set to play their third shots to the par 5 15th. Dion. This is where she does her best work. Wedge in hand, left pins, got a slope on the right she can play with. Yep, right on cue. Dion sticks it in close. Pretty much guarantees herself a 4 with that wonderful wedge shot. Follow that in if you can, Park Hye-jun. Just a yard or two closer than Dion, but pretty much be looking at the same target. Unlucky, didn't got that grab with the second bounce, but still a pretty good shot. Let's go up to Lydia Ko at the home hole. No need to watch that one. She knows where it's hitting. Straight down the middle. Down to 16 and Park Bo-kyum. Trying to battle her way back into the title picture. She's got this for birdie. Should stay up. Well done. Clattered into the back of the cut with pace, and Park Bo-kyum was back to just 1 over par. Ji-young to round out our blockbuster group on Friday off the 18th. up ahead at the green. Chipping from a pretty nice looking lie. Slip that run onto the green for Park So-hee. It's going to be just her 4th cut made this season. Shin Dae-in, both playing partners in very good looks for their birdies. Dae-in, that is klutzy. Swing putt now for So Jin on the 18th hole. Lead up to the high point of that slope and then just have it right on down. It looks like she hasn't lost her turn yet because of an outstanding second shot from Sung Yoo Jin. Leaders made her way to 16T. She's got 5-iron. She's done all day just playing for the middle of the greens, hitting solid iron shots. That's the recipe for success when the conditions start to get difficult. Dae-in. Thankfully that ball stayed out of the penalty area. Doesn't have a direct look at the hole, just got to chop this one onto the green and take her chances with a par-saving putt. So for a round of 68, the low round of the week thus far. Clink of the bottom of the cup will tell you that that's found its target. Great finish to the round. 3 birdies in her last 4. Sung Yoo Jin joins Lee Seung Yeon at 4 under and surely has booked her place in the final group come moving day. Park Hye-jun. Did she make it 3 at 4 under? Oh yes, she can. It looked like it wasn't going to turn, but thankfully the hole gets in the way and the overnight leader moves to 4 under. It's getting tight again on that top page of the leaderboard. So Jin, she'll have this to go into T3 at 2 over. Yeah, it's a nice 2-putt. Wasn't the easiest with that big slope to negotiate. Rounded 74 today, so. Dae-in for her par. And another one slips away for Shin. For a player who's only made 20 million won, so about 15,000 US dollars in 20 starts this season, should be relieved to be making her 4th cut of the year, despite a round of 76. Dae-in. All that's remaining to move to 2 under alongside Hwang Min-jung. To the last, and Park Ji-young You know the recipe how to get it close to this whole location. Just send it out towards the left edge of the green. Try and have it right that slope. So you start at left. And that should find the back pocket. Yeah, excellent shot from Park Ji-young. Come on, Lydia. Love for you to give the brave fans that have gathered around the back of that green and in the grandstands through this weather something to cheer about. She's got 5 iron from 170. It's pretty good. There it is. Nice. Lydia Ko just inside of her playing partner. Doesn't need to be overly frisky with the pace here, Lee Seung-yeon. Oh, the line reading could have done with a bit of work. But it's okay. Just about manageable from there, you'd feel. This one could be very good for Minji. Excellent shot from the Australian, one of the headline acts, teeing it up this week. Is going to play herself right into the title picture. She'll have that for a closing birdie to match the efforts of Sung Yoo Jin's 68. Fabulous golfing from the Australian here on a wet Friday afternoon at the Hana Financial Group Championship. It's a decent look for Huang Minjiang, as long as got the same putt Lydia Ko faced on 17. But she's done much better. Huang Minjiang to 3 under par. There was a little barren patch in the middle of the round for a lot of the ladies, but they are finding some much needed birdies on the way into the clubhouse. That takes Huang into a share of 4th with ENG Lee's got a birdie opportunity coming at the closing hole. In fact, all 3 players in her group have chances to end their day with birdies. First it'll be Park Ji-young. Left on her, so maybe a little disappointed to sign off with a 74 today, Ji-young. To Ray Hyun, who's just been stuck in neutral for most of the day. Chance to get herself into red figures with this birdie putt on 16. Oh, well done. Nice birdie there. Hopefully Lydia was paying attention to Ji-young's putt as it just moved a little left at the hole. Oh, and hers stays straight. Just been that kind of afternoon for the Hall of Famer. Like Park Ji-young ends off with a 74. Sun for par. No mistakes. So at the moment, 3 tied at 4 under. Before ENG Lee brushes her birdie putt in on the closing hole. Up at 17, Soyeon Jung coming in from a long way back for her 3rd. What a shot she's played. Look at this. Oh, best in class on 17 today. Excellent. That far back. You need a little luck in golf, but that was a stunning shot. I'd love to see Minji cap off a spectacular round of golf in these conditions with a closing birdie. She has deserved it, but this is not an easy putt. It's a short one, but you still have to start this on the left edge and just trust. Never in doubt. Fabulous play on Friday from Min-ji Lee. Look at that. 7 birdies in her round, a 68. Terrific going from the Australian. She's come close, agonizingly close a number of times in this championship, and she has played her way into the title picture once again in 2025. After a bit of a hold up on 16T, final group set to play. One of your 4 co-leaders will lead us off. That ended up in the weeds. So it looks like that. On 18, Hwan Min-jung. After those birdies on 16 and 17, she's got herself up within touching distance. Dayon ventured into the penalty area yesterday. Don't think we're going to see the same mistake 2 days in a row. Did the right thing, looked out towards the fat of the green. Ju, it's always been a case of one step forward, one step back for her. She's returned to 1 over par after a bogey. Still 5 shots back, 2 rounds to go. Bunkered at 17 is Hong Jin Young 2. She's fine enough up in the bunker. She doesn't have to deal with that little ridge. That was undercooked. It's trying to continue its journey to the hole, but it's going to pull up about 20 feet short. Shindayan, who's making the journey back to the clubhouse a little uncomfortable for herself with a few sloppy bogeys. Another chance for Park Bo-kyum to find a birdie on 17. Seen this putt made once or twice already. Not if you don't get it to the hole, Bo-kyum. So after that poor bunker shot, Hong Jin Young with a lot of work to do for par. She's got a little bit of cleaning up to do for bogey now. By the fact she's coming out of this left rough, it makes getting to this pin a little harder. It's a terrific second shot. Deserves this to go in. It will. Soyeon Jung. They're making birdies on the 17 today with that slightly friendlier hole location, despite the wet conditions, making this course play a little longer. Lee Hyun-ju, she's got a nice angle to this pin. Coming out of the fairway will have a lot more control than Hwan Min-jung. Leading like that's maybe a touch right of where she wanted to start it. Now she's just got high standards. That's brilliant. Ball stayed out of the water on 16, but she's still in the weeds. Park Hye-jun just didn't quite commit to that. Go up to the final hole of the day for Han Bit Na. 7 over par, 5 overs the cut line. Needed to hold that out to make it through to the weekend, and she gave it a wonderful effort. Looks like she may come up just short. Dion, birdie look on 16. Everyone we've seen from this spot missed this putt right. See if Dion can do any better. I expected nothing less from the 2023 champion. Excellent effort and rock solid par. To 17 and Lee Seong-yeon. I said earlier, this hole's received its fair amount of birdies in today's second round. This one looks like it's heading a little left for E. Okay, no problems at all. Good solid shot. Just going to make its way onto that lower front portion of the green. Shin Dae-in doesn't need anything flashy here. She'd happily settle for a simple 2-putt par. And she'll have to sweat over that one a little. So throw this one out left with enough momentum and energy to get it over that hump before it starts to make its way right. If it starts to move right as it's making its way up that slope, there's no chance you get this one close. A little too much steam on it. Take the slope around, but Min Jung will have a par putt from around 10 feet. Also with about a 10-footer for par, but at least coming uphill is Park Hye-jun on 16. She might have to stick a coin on that for the bogey putt, because that's just gone wandering by. This is a poor angle for Choi Ye-rim to come over the highest portion of the slope before it meanders right. Back at 2 over par now is Ye-rim. Finished her opening round bogey for a 71. Trying to take the slope out of the equation, took the high road. It was a brave shot to play. Very much in danger of dropping a shot at 18 for the second day in a row. That rain really starting to come down hard on these players towards the end of today's second round. Okay, drops just the one, leaves 3 at 4 under. Jung. Again, we've noted she needs a good week. Only the one top 10 on her record for 2025. That coming at the High One Resorts Ladies Open, a tie for 6th that week. Missed 10 cuts this season. That's the reason why she is 71st on the money list, but she is contending strongly at a big money event on the KLPGA Tour. This right to left putt to try and save a par. Start this one outside right edge. Just looks like it wants to rake hard left for the rookie. Spent the last 4 seasons on the Dream Tour. Didn't hit it, just did not commit. So that bogey on the last, just going to take a little bit of the shine of what was otherwise a pretty solid day's work. And in 1 under par 71 for the 2nd successive day. The tee at 17 in the increasingly heavy rain is Park Hye-jun. Green is Lee Seung-yeon with a putt for birdie. Gave it a decent crack. Just looking at this golf course for the last day and a half, 2 days, it's a wonder how Mada Som out of the final round 63, 62 last year en route to victory. Just losing this out a little bit right. Should still stay on the fairway though. Thankfully it does. Year in for a closing par. The opening round leader 12 months ago. Pairs best Chong Na. 76 on Friday in 2025 means she is going to have to find a great number of birdies if she wants to be a factor come Sunday. Back to 17 and a downhill birdie putt for Koo Rae-hyun. Yoo Hyun-jo. It's an excellent second shot. Has set her up for this birdie putt. To card a second straight round of even past 72. Yeah, good day's work battling for last year's Rookie of the Year on the KLPGA Tour. 3 birdies against 3 bogeys all add up to an even par effort. Dion well back on the 17th, just trying to push this up the fairway as far as she can, simplify that third shot in. Jump coming from that right rough on 18, but better than being in the left rough. Just gives you a little bit more room to work with. Oh, took a soft bounce in that front fringe, a little unfortunate. He's on the green, but that's going to be a tough 2-putt. Park also laying up at the par 5. Young also needs to come into this 18th hole with a hybrid. We saw players hitting 9 irons yesterday. That's how much the conditions have affected the length of this closing par 4. Fairway clear. This group set to go on the 18th tee. Koo Rae-hyun will lead them off. He's had the toughest of the conditions, you have to say, the latest starters this Friday, but Lee Seung-yeon has managed herself well. Did birdie this hole to close out her opening round. She'll give herself a good look from the middle of this very saturated fairway. Back in 17, final group set to play their thirds. It'll be Dion first to go. She's safely on that middle segment of the green. It's a 3-way tie at 4 under par between headline act Minji Lee, the returning Sung Yoo Jin, and Lee Seung-yeon, who's making her way up the final hole. Park coming in from the right side of the fairway, just shortens the angle a little bit. Got that one to stop nicely. Great shot from Park Hye-jun. It's a much simpler up and down from the back of this green than if you were trying to two-putt it from the front edge. This is Hong Chin Yong, who finds herself at 1 over par for the championship. Just got to drop this in the fringe and have it tickle onto the green. We'll be moving from right to left. Oh, it'll move her to even par. Keep the putter in the bag. That's a very nice way to finish for Hong. It's all smiles when you know that there's no more golf left to be played today. Like I said, this is a much harder two-putt if you find yourself on the front of the green. So Yeon-jung got to send this up that big shoulder to her left. Have it just ride that slope down towards the cup. That's the problem. You just don't commit to hit it hard enough and you lose it right early. Oh, Kyom has been hanging in there quite well despite some early stumbles. This putt for the three-time tour champion will be for birdie, or for par, excuse me, to send her into the weekend at 1 over. Well-holed putt. Take a bow there, Park Bo-kyom. That was a gutsy way to close out the day. A tale of two nines, out in 40, home in 34 for Park. Lone win on tour came back in 2023 at the 12th KGE Daily Ladies Open. Same year, she shot an 82 on Friday to comfortably miss the cut at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Finished 53rd last year and certainly looking to better it this time out. This for par to remain in a share of fourth with Park Hye-jun. Oh, great two-putt there from So Yeon-jung. Took some guts there. And she's round in 70. Back to Dion on 17, coming slightly downhill for her birdie. To go, needs to keep on going. Just a little shy with the base. Best finish ever as a professional on the KLPGA Tour was third at the Daiwinia MBN Ladies Open, her rookie season on tour in 2020. Lost her card at the end of that year and has been grinding it out on the Dream Tour ever since. On the money list heading into this week off the back of two straight missed cuts, but it'll be only her 10th cut made this season. Koo Rae-hyun. Well, excellent shot into the 17th for Park Hyo-jun. Golden opportunity to claw herself back into a tie at the top. And she'll take it. Wonderful response to the bogey on 16. We have 4 players sharing the lead once again. One of them is about to play her second to the closing hole. Got a little ahead of that. Lee Seung-yeon. Of the arms, drop behind and under. Daeon with knee knocker to tidy up for her par back on 17. Okay, confidently rolled in the middle. Removed from her lone KLPGA Tour title at the Seokyeong Networks Ladies Open. Lee Seung-yeon never lost her card on the KLPGA Tour and finds herself in a 4-way tie for the lead. Midway stage of the lucrative Hana Financial Group Championship. She's bunkered at the closing hole. Been a really good day for her. 3 under par for her round. Low rounds of the day and week. Min-ji Lee and Sung Yoo-jin that leave him in the clubhouse at 4 under par.
첫 차전 때 준우승을 한 이후로 굉장히 의기소침해져 있었는데 이렇게 좋은 결과를 낼 수 있게 돼서 너무나 뿌듯하고 행복합니다. 남은 시간 동안 정규 투어에서도 활약할 수 있도록 멘탈도 키우고 앞으로 정말 열심히 해보겠습니다.
The recipe how you want to play this shot. Just gotta trust it, send it with enough pace up that left hand side. A little heavy handed with that, pitched it way too far up the slope. You'd almost rather have that putt than the one that's from 15 feet short of the hole. At least that putt that she's left herself moves from right to left. Lee Seung-yeon, she in the bunker, she just out of it, in front of the green. Can't quite tell from that camera angle. Much easier if she's out of the bunker. Just play for release coming from the wet rough. If she's in the bunker, she's got to play a big chunk and run. Oh, too much ball. Way too much ball there. Almost looked like she tried to clip it, being in the sand, and just got too much of the pill. tee. Final group with Park Hye-jun leading us off after her timely birdie on 17 moved her back into a share of the lead. This is going to be a bit of a finicky one for Junyu Ri in this left bunker on 18. Just got to land it in the fringe and have it tumble along the rest of the way. Oh, unlucky. Looked like that pitch right in the seam and shot forward. And that was going to be a big ask from there. Just sense that tomorrow can go one of two ways for her. She's not one to sort of hang around and tread water. She's either going to take it really deep and get herself into a good position on Sunday, or we've seen on more than one occasion, just throws that very pedestrian sort of mid-70s round in on a Saturday and blows herself out of contention. That's tomorrow's problems. Today she finds the fairway on 18. Ahead on the green, Lee Seung-yeon just sizing things up here. I don't think she needs to play the high flopper. Not out of wet rough. Give yourself a better chance even if you have to chance it, you just bounce it through that matted down stuff on the back edge of the green, just have it sort of tumble on. A lot of that decision is going to depend on the lie that Seung-yeon has. See, it's just sitting down a little, so just there's no cushion under the ball for her to try and slip a lob wedge underneath and get it vertical quickly. So yeah, I think just looking at a spot right where she's standing, try and play a low one into there, just have it skipping onto the green. That is a much more percentage play. Again, we're only late on Friday afternoon. You need to get this one up and down to win the championship or get in the playoff. Sure, you take the aerial shot, but at this stage of the championship, no need for unnecessary risk. She hit her spot, just came out a little soft. See the final group waiting back in the fairway. It's been another slow afternoon of action here at Bears Best Cheongna. The weather certainly hasn't helped. So while we hang around on the 18th, let's check in with one of the invites, Kira Futcharoen from Thailand, who's making the most of her experience here. Tournament invite. Thai not going to be around for much longer. 16 over par and propping up the pile, unfortunately. weather not doing anything to help pace of play in that 1 hour 45-minute break that players have in between nines. Doesn't help either. Now Yuri for the closing par. Yes, nicely held. Well done, Jun Yuri. Had a bit of a struggle today, but 75. And trying conditions, and she can head to the clubhouse for a warm meal and a hot bath. What a golf to look forward to tomorrow from her. Cool. Rahion. Just right to lefter to try and save a par of her own. Going to be marking that one, so we're going to be on this 18th hole a little bit longer. Yeah, why not go back to 9 and watch hopefully their final shots in Kira Fucharon's week. Yeah, tough week for the tie. Damage was done on day 1 with that 82, unfortunately. But a valuable bit of learning experience for Kira. You don't mind dropping 1 shot, 2 shots, especially on the 18th hole. That stings. It's going to sting bad for Lee Seung-yeon, who really was playing so solidly all throughout the day, making really good par-saving putts. Critical moments on the back 9 ultimately just comes crashing down with a disastrous double bogey on her closing hole to match her opening round effort of 71. Well, you need golf to watch. Why don't we go back to the 9th and see if anyone on this side of the draw can make the cut. Unlikely if you're Maria Rafaela Singson. 20 over par, not going to cut the mustard on any tour. That one just skipping onto the back right edge of the green. Now, cool for bogey. Okay, level par through 36 holes. Her best finish of the season was a tie for 27th at Sunning Point, only running inside the top 10 at the halfway point of the Hana Financial Group Championship. So finally, your final group set to play their seconds into this 18th hole. For this fairway, it just affords Shin Dae-in a slightly better look at this whole location. Steadied the ship after missteps. It's been an expensive day for Dae-in. She's now back at 3 over par. 5 over for her round. herself into the just a slightly better position going into the weekend if she can conjure up a excellent iron shot into the last. Oof, pitched just past the bunker. I imagine that would have stayed out. Started the day with a share of the lead. A birdie here gets her the outright lead at the halfway point, Park Hye-jun. She's given herself every opportunity to do that. Just stays on the back edge of the green. A fine iron shot into the par 4. Some final group tomorrow. Park Hye-jun, winner back here in June. Sung Yoo-jin returning to the KLPGA Tour this season after losing her status in America, and the highly touted Min-ji Lee looking to erase the playoff heartbreaks of 2021 and 2023. She's made 7 bogeys in a row since making the turn, the Filipino Sing-son, but should be a par on the last. This 18th green, the site of what was an epic playoff between Dayon, Patty Tavatanakit and Min-ji Lee 2 years ago. Dayon winning it in incredible fashion with a 40-footer on the 3rd extra hole after Min-ji Lee missed a, what was it, 2.5-footer for the win on the 2nd playoff hole. Gave Dayon second life, and he would not squander the opportunity, and she's gotten a good break with that ball staying out of the bunker on 18. It's on a severe upslope, but the line looks okay, and just the fact that she's going to have to play that off the back of her stance means it's going to be coming in a little lower. And she shouldn't have to worry about this checking up too quickly. It's just going to be skidding as it makes its way to the hole. Just from this position, that big shoulder that has bothered a great number of players in the 2nd round should be as big of a factor. It's just trying to gauge the amount of force that she needs to apply to the back of the ball to get this ball all the way into that back segment of the green. Pretty well done. sitting okay, maybe slightly into the green, so plays with a little bit, a fraction more speed, because it's going to just sort of pop up. It makes contact with the club, but once it does hit the putting surface, just a gentle right to left mover. Just a poor shot. No other way to describe it for Diane. Trust it, decelerated, and well, that's what happens. So, Park Hye-jun, who has remained resilient in the rain, at Bears Best this Friday with this putt for a birdie and the outright lead at the halfway stage. And she'll have it. A wonderful way to finish. Birdie on 17, birdie on 18, round and 70. She leads through 36 holes at the Hana Financial Group Championship. She will have a certain three-time major winner in Min Ji Lee for company on Saturday. Well played, Park Hye-jun. Diane, just love for this round to come to an end. It's been a miserable day for her, weather-wise and golf-wise, and she's got this for par on 18. No way to sugarcoat it. That was a woeful effort. Closing bogey. And a very expensive round of 78. And high hopes after that early birdie on the second. Couldn't make one since. After 6.5 hours since they teed off today, this morning, Lee Daeon to end things off with a par on the 18th to go into the weekend stages of the 7th Hana Financial Group Championship at 2 under par. Classy up and down, good way to finish. Nice par. Despite the round of 73, the chase for a second Hana Financial Group Championship crown still very much alive for the 2023 champion. So with all that done, let's roll the highlights from a wet Friday afternoon at Bears Best. Start things off with Lee Seong-yeon, who was really setting the course alight on the front. 9 birdies at 2, 5, and this approach setting up a third at the 9th took her to the turn in 33 strokes. And would move her up to 4 under par and into a share of the lead. On the back 9, ENG Lee would start to come good. Birdie at the 10th, bogey at the 11th, and then found the unlikeliest of threes with that bit of bunker brilliance at 12. Go on to collect another at the very next hole after this excellent approach. And this nice pitch on the 15th would set up a 6th birdie of the day for the Australian. On 17, So Yun-jung, I beg your pardon, Jun Yi-sung, Sung Yoo-jin would make a timely birdie there. And then the 18th hole, she got step up, play one of the shots of the round, a 5-iron into the perfect landing spot, using the contours beautifully. Sung Yoo-jin with a round of 68 that left her at 4 under par. Back on 15, the overnight co-leader, Park Hye-jin, had to remain very patient. Level par for a round to this point. Not quite as good of an approach as Lee Dae-yeon, but the result was similar, courtesy of this excellent putt. While that was happening, ENG Lee was putting the shine on a magnificent performance on Friday. Just like Sung Yoo-jin, using the contours of the final green to perfection, Minji was making moves in the rain. A closing birdie, a 7th of the round, matching Sung Yoo-jin's week's best of 68. Towards the end of her round, Park Hye-jin would start to find some birdies. This one on 17, a great bounce back after a drop shot on 16. And then with the struggles of Lee Seong-yeon ahead, that was her 4th shot after thinning her bunker shot over the back of the green. A messy double bogey leaves her at 2 under par. Birdie finish. We'll see the name of Park Hye-jun reach the summit of the leaderboard. 5 under par, leads the way after 36 holes at the Hana Financial Group Championship. We are set for a brilliant Saturday afternoon of golf with Hye-jin, Minji and Sung Yoo-jin in the final group. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to your company. Same time, same place tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye for now.